Okay, welcome ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. My name is Scaggy Bones, I'm your host, and today is another do-it-yourself help video on making some bike tools. So, last video we talked about how to put in your press fit front hub bearings, or rear hub bearings for that matter, and then I talked about how we're going to possibly make ourselves a press for those type of bearings, just using some common everyday stuff that we have. So as you can see here, we have a old front and rear quick release skewer set. So very simple, just a basic front quick release, which is the shorter one. Okay, and then you got the end nut, you got this part itself. Okay, now one of the first things you're going to want to do is you're going to take out the springs. You don't want the springs there, they're just going to get caught up and make a mess. So take those, don't throw them away, but put them in a little box or container, and then you can keep those for later. So then we got a rear one. As you can see, it's longer, obviously. So we're going to take the nut off there. And if you really want to, you could probably get, if you wanted to, you could probably go to the hardware store and find a wing nut that would fit on that thread if you wanted to, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not that concerned about it, okay? So take that, put that on there. It doesn't matter the shape of these. As you can see, I'd replace them because they got a little bit beat up. For what we're doing, they will work fine. So the first thing you want to do is you're going to want a couple of different size nuts and bolts here that you're going to use. And the first size, washers and bolts that you're going to need. So the first size washer that you need is something that's kind of large and has a really small center hole in it that is just going to barely fit. And what that's going to do is going to provide a flat plate against here that's going to center the other washers and nuts on there and allow them so that they don't fall off. Because if you just take this like so, put a big washer like that, you see how it's not going to center there. It doesn't go through, but it's going to kind of, this ain't going to center properly, and this is going to tilt one way or the other. It's not going to provide you force. So you're going to use one of these guys. You're going to take and you can put that washer on like so, and then you're going to get a nut like this. Okay, now you can get a smaller nut, but I measured the bearings, and this size nut equals the outer race, and since the outer race actually has to, or the bearing actually presses in about 1/8 of an inch inside the entire hub itself, we are going to need that piece there. We're going to need something that can go inside of it instead of just a flat washer. Okay, now once you get the bearing in, you could do a couple things. If you don't actually want to use this, you could just press it like that, and then you could take something like this, and then you could put that over it, over the hub, or over the bearing, and then you could use a rubber mallet like so to actually just tap it in the rest of the way. But I don't really like tapping on bearings unless I'm taking them out and I'm going to throw them away. So pressing them in is just a little bit better. So we're going to use that. Take a second one because we want one on the other side because we want to press both of them in the exact same time. We're going to take our second big washer, put that there, like so. Now you might be able to actually do away with the big washer. You probably just do yourself with a smaller washer like this, or one that's like that, if you really wanted to. Or even maybe put a couple of these washers on like so. Put a couple like that if you want to, but I want it to provide some stability. So you do it like that. You can also double up a couple of these washers as well if you really want to. So that's two. So, the other side. Like that. Like so, just like that, like that. Oops, sorry. So, bam, bam. so. And then you take your end, okay? And then this is a press specifically for the rear wheel alone, okay? The rear hub being the fact that it has to accommodate, it's got to accommodate you got to accommodate the cassette. You're going to need a little bit longer one, okay? So it's a little bit longer, okay? The cassette isn't going to be on, but you still have to accommodate for that freewheels, or the ratchet pawl section. Okay, so that's going to be for there, and that's actually the setup there. So the next one, what you're going to do is pretty much the same thing. You're going to take this, make sure you have this piece on here. If you don't have that piece on, I mean, you could do it without. I guess you could kind of put that on there, and it would go on there, but you put a lot of pressure on this piece here on that washer. So just use this. Also, it's got some little teeth in there and allow it to actually grip onto the washers. So take a couple of small washers. I put a couple in there just because it provides force. If you notice, this one is kind of bent itself, just because it went on the inside of the washer from the other one. So put it like that. Down there. So like I said, 2 small washers, 1 big one, a nut, the second nut, second big washer, and 2 small washers. Bam, just like that. And then put the top back on, or the other end, just like so. And then ultimately how this is going to work is you're going to have, this is going to be driving against this side, pushing in like so, and then this is going to be pushing in like this. And it's going to work very similar to this. The nut is working just like you have this press piece here. So how it's pushed in, so it actually, this inner piece presses against the bearing for the bottom bracket. So that's actually how it's working. So that's pretty much your front and rear hub press, bearing press. You're not going to have to use these all the time, obviously. Most wheels, the bearings get probably about 30 to 40,000 miles on them before they actually need changing out. If you don't really clean them or service them, you may only get like 15,000 miles, but for the most part, most of those seal cartridge bearings, they last quite a long time. So you probably never have to use this that often, but it does allow for you to get a little bit more life out of your wheels. And there you go, two press tools for your front and rear hubs. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. If you liked it, make sure you give us a thumbs up if you liked it, and make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below. I'm making sure that I put a subscribe button in, that small subscribe button off to the corner that runs the whole video. That way you guys can, at any point during the video, you can hit that subscribe button. It'll take you to the channel, and you can see more videos and subscribe as well. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and like always, keep riding.